Very good morning to all of you. I once again welcome you all to this current lecture. In the last lecture, we discussed about what is meant by the geometrical isomerism, the definition of this particular geometrical isomerism, what are the two types of this particular isomerism, that is the cis and trans isomerism, the definition of these two cis and trans isomerism, along with the suitable examples for assigning the cis and trans isomerism for the given molecules. At the end of that lecture, we pointed out the failure or the drawback of this cis and trans isomerism as far as the alkene system is to be considered. So whenever the four different atoms or groups are to be attached to the two olefinic carbon of the alkenes, at that time it is not possible to assign either cis and trans isomerism. To avoid this, the new type of the isomerism or new type of the method is there, or new configuration method is there. That method is nothing but the E and Z configuration. So at that situation, we have to use this E and Z configuration. So in this current lecture, we are going to study this important concept E and Z configuration. What is the meaning of this E and Z configuration? How it works? What are the different examples, along with the different type of the physical and chemical properties of these particular configurations. So first of all, what is the meaning of this E and Z configuration? So for this purpose, if we take into consideration the simple general skeleton for this alkene system containing the four different atoms or groups, suppose if this type of the situation is there, in which a olefinic system is there, a alkene system is there, in which these are the two olefinic carbons to which the four different atoms or groups are to be attached. It is A, B, E and D. So these are the four different either atoms or groups is there. So this is one of the possible general skeleton for this olefinic system is there. Suppose if I write the same molecule in the another way, in this case, if I write here A, then B, if it is a D and E, suppose if the situation is like this, to the two olefinic carbon, four different atoms is attached here. So it is not possible for us to assign cis and trans. So at that situation, the new concept comes, that is a E and Z configuration. Now basically, what is meant by E and what is meant by Z configuration? So as far as these words are to be considered, this Z is a German word. This Z is a German word. It is the German word. It means Zusammen. It is Zusammen. It is a German word. Z stands for Zusammen. It means the together. The meaning of this word is a together. Z is a Zusammen. It is German word. It means the together. While the second word is your E. E is again a German word. E is again a German word. It means antigen. It means across. So this is the meaning of these two suffix Z and E. Z is a German as well as E is a German word. Z stands for Zusammen, it means together, while this E is again German word, it means antigen, it means the across. So this is a literal meaning of this Z and E. Now suppose this is a particular two general skeleton of the olefinic system, suppose. So in this situation, whenever we want to assign such a type of the E and Z configuration, so what happens? Before assigning this particular configuration, we have to assign, we have to give the priority to the atoms or groups attached to this particular olefinic system, and this priority depends upon some type of the sequence rules. So we have to assign the priority, we have to assign the priority based upon sequence rules. Based upon sequence rules. So first of all, we have to assign the priority to the groups or atoms attached to this olefinic carbon by using the sequence rules. Suppose by assigning these priorities or sequence rules, suppose if this group gets the first priority, this B get the second priority. Suppose this E get the first priority and this D get the second priority. The same case is there for this second general skeleton. This A is again the first priority, B has the second priority. This E gets the first priority and this D gets the second priority. Now, after giving such a type of the priorities, we have to look towards what is the relative position of the similar priority group on present on both olefinic carbons. Suppose if I consider this first olefinic carbon on which this first priority group is present at this site, we have to look towards what is the position of the first priority group attached to this second olefinic carbon. If we look toward this molecule, what happens? The similar priority group, that is the highest priority groups, are present on the same side of this particular double bond. At the same time, the second priority groups are again present on the same side of the double bond. So if we look toward this type of the positions, at that time the configuration which is possible or which is assigned to this type of the representation is called as the Z configuration. It is called as the Z configuration. This type of the configuration is called as the Z configuration. So what is by Z configuration? Z configuration is nothing but a configuration in which the similar priority groups attached to this both olefinic carbon are present on a same side of the double bond. Then that particular configuration is a Z configuration. Now if we look toward this second type of the general representation of this alkene molecule, now this is the first priority group. This is the first priority group attached to this second olefinic carbon. If we look toward their relative positions, they are present across or opposite to each other, and that's why this type of the configuration is called as the E configuration. This is called as the E configuration. So E configuration is nothing but such a configuration in which the similar priority groups are present on the opposite side of the double bond. So that configuration is a E configuration. So this is a general skeleton for assigning E and Z configuration depending upon some priority sequence or depending upon the use of this type of the sequence rules. Now by using that sequence rules or some priority, we can assign the priority number 1, priority number 2 for both the atoms or groups attached to each olefinic carbon, and after that we just look towards what is the relative position of this particular similar priority groups, and depending upon that we assign here Z and E configuration. Now this is a general representation of this type of the particular E and Z configuration. Suppose if we take here some examples, suppose if we correlate this E and Z configuration to that of the cis and trans configuration, so what happens? If I consider the cis configuration, we know very well that cis and trans configuration. So if we consider the cis configuration, this cis isomer or cis configuration, it may have Z or E configuration. This cis configuration, it may have either Z or E configuration. At the same time, if I consider the trans isomer, it may have either Z or E configuration. So from this it is clear to us that we cannot predict that cis isomer always have either Z or E configuration. It depends upon the molecule, it depends upon the what type of the priority is there for the given atoms or groups. So depending upon that, it depends whether it has the Z or E configuration. The same case is there for trans isomer also. We cannot predict it has the Z or E configuration. Again, it depends upon the nature of the atoms or groups attached to the both olefinic carbons. So this is a general overview of this particular E and Z configuration, their general representation, the meaning of this Z and E, and the definition of this Z configuration and E configuration. Now the next duty is that we have to study some simple examples for assigning this E and Z configuration. So for this purpose, we take here some simple examples for this E and Z configuration. So as far as these alkene molecules are to be considered, if we take here some simple molecules, suppose if I take the first simple example as C double bond C if it has, suppose the first is a CH3 group is there, this H is there. If it has the CH2, CH3, if it has the D, suppose it has the deuterium, suppose. So now if we look toward this type of the olefinic or alkene compound, what happens to both these olefinic carbons? Four different atoms or groups is attached here. One group is a CH3, one atom is a H, next is a CH2 CH3, and next is your deuterium. So our first job is that we have to assign the priority to both the atoms or groups attached to each olefinic carbon by using the sequence rules. So these sequence rules depends upon the nature of this particular methyl to that of the hydrogen. So we have to compare it one by one. If we look toward this first olefinic carbon to this first olefinic carbon, what happens? This methyl group is attached, this carbon is attached directly to this carbon, while the second group is called as the hydrogen. Now if we compare the atomic number of this carbon to that of the hydrogen, the atomic number of carbon is more than that of the hydrogen. So this CH3 group get the highest priority. So we can assign here CH3 as a first priority and this hydrogen as a second priority. Now if we look toward the second olefinic carbon, to this second olefinic carbon, one group attached is the CH2 CH3 and second is a deuterium. Now again if we compare atomic number of this carbon to that of the deuterium, atomic number of carbon is a 6, for this deuterium is a equal to 1. So again the priority to this CH2 CH3 gets the one priority, for this deuterium it gets the second priority. So this is the first step for assigning the priority by using the sequence rules. So if we look towards now, each olefinic carbon gets the priority 1 and 2. Now next we have to check the relative position of the similar priority groups attached to both olefinic carbon. So if we look carefully toward this, what happens? The similar priority group, that is the first priority group attached to first olefinic carbon and first priority group attached to second olefinic carbon are present on a same side of the double bond. At the same time, the second priority group are also present on a same side of the double bond, and that's why we know very well that if such a type of the situation is there, that configuration is called as the Z configuration. That configuration is called as the Z configuration. So this molecule gets the configuration that is a Z configuration. So this is the first simple example for this configuration. Now if I take the next simple example for assigning this cis and Z, suppose if I take here, suppose this type of the compound is there, Cl is there, suppose this H is there, this is a bromine is there, suppose if this is a iodine is there, suppose. Now if we look toward this type of the molecule, in this case the four different atoms are attached to both these olefinic carbon. So first of all we have to assign the priority of the atoms attached to this first olefinic carbon. So if we compare this chlorine to that of the hydrogen, the atomic number of chlorine is more than that of the hydrogen, so it gets the highest priority as first. This hydrogen get the second priority. If we look toward this second olefinic carbon as compared to bromine and iodine, this iodine has the more atomic number, so it get the first priority, this bromine get the second priority. Now just we have to compare relative position of highest priority group. So this first priority group attached to both olefinic carbon is present on a opposite side. At the same time, this second priority group is also present on the opposite side, and we know very well that if such a type of the situation is there, that configuration is called as the E configuration. That configuration is called as the E configuration. So this is a second simple example for assigning either E and Z configuration. Now if we look towards the next simple example, suppose if I take here the next simple example as, if the first group attached to this first olefinic carbon as C double bond O CH3, this second group is a CH2OH. If such a group is there, first is the COCH3, second group is a CH2OH, next group is your CH3, and next is your hydrogen. So if this type of the molecule is there, again we have to assign the priority. Now as far as this first olefinic carbon is to be considered, to this first group is a COCH3 and the second group is a CH2OH. Now if we compare the priority atom by atom, to this carbon this carbon is attached. In this case also directly carbon is attached. Both atoms are similar. Now if we extend this type of the uh, comparison between the atom by atom, what happens? This carbon carbon is the same, so we have to compare the next atoms attached to this carbon. So to this carbon, a carbon double bond oxygen is there and one methyl group is there. At the same time, in this case, only two hydrogen and one oxygen is there. So if we compare both these groups, what happens? Due to the carbon double bond oxygen, we can consider here the two oxygen atoms. So in comparison to this CH2OH, it get the highest priority of 1, while this get the second priority. If we look toward this second olefinic carbon, one group is a methyl, second is a hydrogen. So it is very simple that as this carbon has the more atomic number, it gets the first priority and this hydrogen get the second priority. Now just we have to compare relative position of similar priority groups. So these highest priority groups are present on the same side of the double bond. At the same time, lowest priority group is also present on the same side of the double bond, and that's why this configuration is called as the Z configuration. This configuration is called as the Z configuration. So this is a very simple examples of E and Z configuration. At the last, we take here a simple example again. Suppose if I take here again C double bond C, if I take here suppose CH3 single bond H, and to the second olefinic carbon if C6H5, and the next group is a C double bond O OH. So if we take such a type of the next molecule for assigning this E and Z, again we have to assign the priority to these atoms or groups attached to this first olefinic carbon. So again this methyl get the first priority as compared to hydrogen. So just we have to write here methyl priority number first, this hydrogen priority number second. Now if we compare this C6H5 group to that of the COOH group, so what happens? The first atom which is attached directly to the second olefinic carbon is the same, that is a carbon. But if we compare the next atoms attached to this carbon, both these carbons, to this group two oxygen atom is there. At the same time, to this group only carbons is there, and that's why this carboxylic group get the highest priority as compared to this type of the phenyl group. And that's why if we compare now the relative position of the highest priority group, it presents on a opposite side of the double bond, and that's why this type of the molecule gets the E configuration. It has the E configuration. So these are some simple examples for assigning this E and Z configuration. So first of all, we assign here simple priority, priority number 1, priority number 2 to the each atom or group attached to the both these olefinic carbons, and after that just we look towards what is the relative position of the highest priority groups, whether they are present on the same side of the double bond or on across to the double bond. So we can assign here Z and E configuration. So this is a very simple for assigning this type of the E and Z configuration for a given type of the alkene molecule. So after now considering these type of the different examples, now we have to look towards what are the properties of this particular E and Z configuration. What type of the properties can be shown by these type of the molecules which having either E and Z configuration. So for this purpose here, we consider here the two different type of the properties shown by this type of the molecules which having either either Z or E configuration. So first of all, if we look towards here, the first simple molecules. So first of all, we have to look towards here the physical properties. The first important property is shown by these molecules as a physical properties. So as far as we consider here the physical properties of these particular molecules, so what happens? These E and Z configuration having molecules shows the different type of the physical properties. So these type of the physical properties depends upon whether it has the Z configuration or E configuration. So suppose if I take here a simple example for comparison of physical properties. Suppose if I consider here a simple molecule, that is the 2-butene molecule. This 2-butene molecule can be represented in a two different forms. This is a one of the possible forms, that is a it is called as the Z configuration, while if I consider here the second possible form for this molecule, it is again here CH3, it is CH3, this is H, this is a H is there. Now we can say that it is first is a cis 2 butene, second is called as a trans 2 butene, or specifically we can say that in the first compound the similar groups are present on the same side, while in second compound similar groups are present on the opposite side. Now first of all we have to assign here the physical properties of this particular geometrical isomerism. If we consider here this E and Z is nothing but the geometrical isomerism. So what type of the physical and chemical properties can be shown by the this type of the geometrical isomerism? So this first compound is, we know very well that it is a cis 2 butene, and the second one is called as the trans 2 butene. It is the trans 2 butene. Now if we consider some simple physical properties, suppose if we consider here a dipole moment, we know very well the dipole moment. So if we take into consideration the polarity shown by these two type of the molecules, so we have to look towards what type of magnitude can be shown by this type of the two molecules. So now if we compare the relative structure of these particular molecules, what happens? Two methyl groups are present in each of these molecules. We know very well that these methyl groups are considered to be electron donating groups. They are to be considered as electron donating groups. So what happens? Due to the electron donating nature of this particular two methyl groups, they shows, or these molecules show the some type of the polarity. Now we have to consider what is the magnitude of polarity shown by these two type of the molecules. Now if we consider this cis 2 butene, what happens? The two dipoles shown by these two methyl groups are pointed in a same direction. The two dipoles which are pointed in a same direction. That's why as far as the dipole moment of this cis 2 butene is considered, it shows some dipole moment. It shows very small dipole moment. It show mu stands for dipole moment, so it shows very small value of this type of the dipole moment. But now if we consider this trans 2 butene, no doubt two methyl groups are present, both showing that some dipoles. But if we take into consideration their direction of orientation, these two dipoles are pointed in a exactly opposite direction, and that's why the resultant magnitude of these two particular dipole moments get cancelled, and that's why this mu is equal to 0. So we can say that this cis 2 butene shows very small value of the dipole moment. At the same time, this trans 2 butene shows the zero dipole moment. It depends upon what is the orientation of the two dipoles present in a particular molecule. In this first case, it present in a similar direction, while in the second case, they are opposite to each other. That's why they show the different type of the dipole moments. Now suppose if we consider their boiling points, if we consider suppose their boiling points, so what happens? This first compound show the boiling point as a plus 4 degree centigrade, while the boiling point for the second compound is equal to plus 1 degree centigrade. So again we can say that this first compound, that is cis 2 butene, has a more boiling point as compared to the trans 2 butene, and this is nothing but the difference in terms of their physical properties. If we consider here some simple physical properties, this is a dipole moment and boiling point, so both these molecules get differ in terms of their these two simple physical properties. So the different type of the physical properties there, in that case these two isomers get differ, and that's how we can say that if we consider a same molecule, but if it has the two different type of the geometrical isomerism, these geometrical isomerism get differs in case of their physical properties. Now once we study these physical properties, the second important property shown by this type of the geometrical isomerism is called as their chemical properties. The next important property shown by these molecules is called as the chemical properties. Now as far as these chemical properties is to be considered, chemical properties, so these are the some chemical properties can be shown by this type of the geometrical isomerism. So if we consider some simple geometrical chemical properties, suppose if I consider here the two different type of the geometrical isomerism, suppose if such a type of the acid is there, containing two COOH group attached to the two olefinic carbon. So if such a type of the acid is there, this acid is called as the malic acid. This acid is called as the malic acid, and this is a cis configuration. It has the cis configuration. Suppose if we treat this malic acid, to the particular reagent, a particular experimental conditions, suppose if we heat this type of the malic acid at a temperature of 140 degrees centigrade, what happens? This malic acid undergo the cyclization reaction and it can form one type of the cyclic compound. It can form one type of the cyclic compound as it can form here one type of the cyclic compound, that is C double bond O. This type of the cyclic compound can be formed by this type of the molecule, and this compound is called as the malic anhydride. This compound is called as the malic anhydride. This compound is called as the malic anhydride. Unhydride linkage is there, COOCO. So this is the case for this type of the malic acid. But suppose if I consider the second molecule of a second isomer of this acid, that is a C double bond C, COOH. This is the H, this is the H, and this is the COOH. Now this second type of the isomerism for the same molecule is there. Now this acid is called as the fumaric acid. This acid is called as the fumaric acid. This acid is called as the fumaric acid. So this fumaric acid is there, and this fumaric acid is called as the trans. It is a trans isomer. Now if we want to study the same type of the reaction of this type of the fumaric acid, suppose if we heat this fumaric acid at the temperature of 140 degrees centigrade, if we heat this particular fumaric acid, now what happens? After the heating of this molecule at a 140 degrees centigrade, it cannot undergo the cyclization type of the reactions. It cannot undergo cyclization type of the reactions. So what we have to do? We have to treat this fumaric acid at a temperature of some highest temperature we have to take here. So if I take here a temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. So if we heat this fumaric acid at a temperature of 300 degrees centigrade, so it undergo isomerization. It undergo isomerization reaction in a first step, and in which it gives a molecule that is nothing but the malic acid. So in the first step, this molecule undergo isomerization and it forms the malic acid on isomerization. So in the first step, after heating to the 300 degrees centigrade, it undergo isomerization to form the malic acid, and after that, if we treat this malic acid, if we undergo the heating reaction, if we heat this malic acid at a temperature of 140 degrees centigrade, it gives the formation of, again here, the malic anhydride. It gives the formation of this type of the again malic anhydride. So we can, in a short, we can say that these are the two isomers, geometrical isomers of the acid. One is the malic acid, second is the fumaric acid. Malic acid easily undergo cyclization reaction when it is heated at a temperature of 140 degrees centigrade. But in case of this type of the fumaric acid, if we heat this acid at a temperature of 140 degrees centigrade, it cannot undergo the cyclization. So to avoid this, what we have to do? We have to heat this fumaric acid at a high temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. So in the first step, it undergo isomerization. It forms this type of the malic acid again, and after the formation of this malic acid, when it again treated or again heated at a temperature of 140 degrees centigrade, then it undergoes cyclization reaction to form the malic anhydride molecule. So in a general, we can say that no doubt this geometrical isomerism having the similar molecular formula, but they get the differ in type of the actual arrangement of the atoms or groups to both these olefinic carbon, and that's why these molecules shows different chemical properties as well as the different physical properties. So in the current lecture, we discuss the most important point, that is what is mean by E and Z configuration, what is the definition of this E and Z configuration, their different examples, and at the last we completed here the physical and chemical properties shown by this type of the geometrical isomerism. So with this today I stop here. The remaining important points from this chapter we will cover in a next lecture. So with this, I stop here. Thank you. Thank you so much.